Hey, good morning out there in Cyberland. This is Bruce Deery coming at you from Sarasota, Florida. And for those of you that followed me, you may or may not realize, but I haven't recorded a YouTube video for about a year for a variety of reasons, okay? So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to call this. Sit down and take my glasses off here. Because I've got a reflection. Like I was saying, if you follow me, you may or may not have noticed that I haven't done a video for over a year, for a variety of reasons. Let me tell you, first of all, that, after 10, 11 years living in North Carolina in a 100-plus-year-old log cabin, all knotty pine inside, big old stone fireplace, a nice duck pond off my deck in the back. I loved it there in the spring, summer, and the fall. The winters got to be just too much. The winters were cold, and I'm not getting any younger, and it was starting to get to me. So recently I moved back to Sarasota, Florida. By back to, I mean I lived here from 1984 until 2005 when I moved to North Carolina. Okay, and a couple of reasons that I moved back. Number one, I already referred to, is the weather. The cold weather in the winters just got to be too much. Number two, I started to think about, hey, I may in the future have some health problems where it would be nice to be near family. And I have a brother in Sarasota. I have a brother on the East Coast. I have a son in Tennessee that's hoping to move back here in the near future. And in view of the fact that I lived here for 20 plus years, I've got a lot of old friends here that I've stayed in touch with. And so the move is not like moving into a brand new community and having to make new friends and find out the highways and the byways and all that kind of stuff. So here I am back in Sarasota. Well, there's some bad news and there's some good news. Okay, I moved back in July of 2017, and I've been blessed with good health. Okay, but almost immediately, well, not immediately, but in the fall I started to have some health issues. Okay, number one, I was diagnosed with AFib, which is an irregular heartbeat, so I take a blood thinner for that. Number two, I had controlled diabetes for 10 or 11 years, just taking medication, and all of a sudden my blood sugar came off the rails. Okay, and up and down like a yo-yo. And number three, 4 years ago, I had my first attack of acute pancreatitis. I won't go into all the details there, but sometimes they know what causes pancreatitis, sometimes they don't. In my case, they don't know what causes it. All right, but they do identify me as having chronic pancreatitis, which means that periodically for the rest of my life I can expect to have episodes of acute pancreatitis. In fact, I had one 2 weeks ago. I spent 4 days in the hospital. Anywho, and last May, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I said, oh shit. I said, I know exactly what that is. I'm having a pancreatitis attack. So I called 911, I went to the emergency room, and sure enough, that's what it was. And skipping a lot of details and bringing you up to date, last May, in fact, May 16th, I had what's called a Whipple procedure, which is a major, it's kind of the granddaddy of all surgeries. It's like a quadruple bypass or open heart surgery or heart transplant or whatever. And, it has to do with re-architecting your whole gut, okay, your whole stomach, your whole digestive system. And it ain't a lot of fun. For 6 months I was on opiates to deal with the pain. The good news is that for the last 4 or 6 weeks, for the most part, that pain has gone away. So anyhow, that's kind of the bad news. I've, in short, have had some health issues for this past year. And it hasn't been a lot of fun. Just to give you an idea, My Medicare coverage with Humana last year came to $365,000 for hospital and doctor's bills. Now, the good news part of that is that only $5,000 of that was out of pocket, and Humana picked up the rest of it. So that's the summary of the bad news, but that was good news. The good news is this. I don't know if you call the first part of it good news, but because of my health issues, I didn't work. I didn't pay any attention. I basically took a sabbatical from my online businesses. Okay. And my good fortune was this, when I first got involved in the solar business, as one of the original founders of Solar Buyers Club, which is a division of Solar Direct, I put a lot of emphasis on recruiting, and I recruited a number of people, and a number of my recruits have been selling solar systems like crazy and hitting it out of the ballpark. So consequently, I'm getting some pretty substantial override checks on a monthly basis, okay, to the tune of a couple $1,000s a month, for not doing anything this past year. So with that all being said, I just haven't had the motivation or the strength or the wherewithal to really pay any attention to my solar business. But as of January 31st, I'm putting it back on the front panel, the front burner, okay? So, and let me just say this, the intention of this video is not to sell you anything, okay? But if you happen to be looking for a home-based business with virtually no upfront cost, and particularly if you've got some experience in the solar business or roofing business, and if you have some pretty ambitious goals, if earning a six-figure income within a relatively reasonable period of time appeals to you, I'm going to put my link down below, and I encourage you to take a look at it. We are the #1 solar installer in Florida. We've been in business for 33 years. The corporate office is 20 minutes from where I live. We've got over 80,000 installs across the country. Our emphasis really is in the state of Florida, and we're by far the least expensive. We're 35, 40%, sometimes 50% less than every other installer in Florida, and our compensation plan is the most lucrative really in the industry. So take a look at it, okay? Take a look at the website, jot down some questions. I'm going to put my 800 number down there, and if you'd like to explore it further, pick up the phone and call me. Let's see where it takes us. It may not take us anywhere, but it might introduce you to an opportunity that just might be a good fit for you. So with all that being said, I'm not sure what I'm going to call this. It's certainly not a State of the Union message, but it may be the State of Bruce message, or it may be what happened to Bruce in 2018, okay? So with that all being said, if we speak, or until we speak, if we speak, smile, laugh a lot, have fun, and enjoy the game of life, because you know what? We've only got one. Blessings. Over and out for now.